What's going on, guys? It's me again, 10th Gen Broski, in the blue denim jacket. Why? I don't know. This is kind of like a little bit of like a vlog series. I will be having some more civic stuff to talk about. Just waiting on my buddy to get help me with the pulls with the car. Just one person kind of holding it down. So if you guys be patient with me, appreciate that. But I'm definitely gonna get some of those drive-bys for you guys. So the theme of this video is car scene growing up. I was born in the early 90s, so the car scene for me, kind of growing up in the Motor City over here in the Benton state of Michigan, mostly muscle cars, to be honest with you guys. I mean, where I lived at growing up, a lot of people working at Ford's, working in the factories. My dad used to work in the factory at Ford's. I see a lot of people driving Mustangs, and some Camaros. So it was kind of like, I kind of grew up around that scene. I really didn't really know too much about the tuner scene until I was about 10, about 8, 9, 7 or 8, playing the first Gran Turismo game. But mostly I grew up around muscle cars. That was kind of, muscle cars, big old boats from the 70s. My pops had a couple of old cars from the 80s, like the old Delta 88. And the one in the old, this is part of the Malaise era GM, GM era. I think it was like from like the mid 70s over to the early 80s. He had an 82, 83 Buick Riviera, and then he had an old, I think 85 Delta 88. I love that Delta 88, man. Like, it was a boxy ass car. It essentially looked like a Caprice Classic at the time. But man, you put like those cop wheels on there, man. The car was kind of like lifted in the back. It was a rust bucket, but the engine sounded strong. I know cars back then, anything pretty much after 73 didn't really make much power. They were still throwing in big ass engines in those things, but they were so under power, due to a lot of the emissions and stuff. But that was kind of like what I grew up on. So, when it comes to me, I'm not a brand loyalist. If I see you have a really cool car, I mean, to what I consider cool, I'm gonna definitely give you props, because I think it's important to have, variety is a slice of life, or variety is a spice of life. You gotta, I don't know, man. It's for me, it's hard for me to just like one brand, because there's so many really cool cars that I like from different model generations. But it's not my job to try to tell y'all what to think. You all like what you like, and I respect that. As for me, I like whatever, so I can go from tuner to muscle to street truck to off-road truck to motorcycles. Like if we're speaking motorcycles, I definitely love the Harley Davidson Fat Boy. That was a motorcycle featured in Terminator 2. Love that bike. It's so just badass, man. I love that bike. Or, and this might be kind of older, but the old Kawasaki Ninjas from like, the 2000s. I like those. I like the shape of those. But yeah, I like all kinds of stuff, man. I have an interest in just the mechanicals of things, I guess. I'm not a mechanic, but I love seeing, when man can forge things from their own hands and make something and then be able to build upon it over periods of decades. But yeah, that was kind of the car scene for me growing up. If you have any stories, guys, share them down in the comments. I want to hear them. I think it's important to, have a channel where we can just, I'm not a drama type person. I typically stay away from that shit, man. There's enough going on in the world right now. I don't want to add to that. I'm not, I get into politics. We deal with, there's a whole plethora of channels on YouTube. I just want to have like a place where we can just share our love for cars, or, or trucks or whatever, so yeah, in the comments below, guys, share what the car scene was like for you. Yeah. All right. Peace out.